Now, the next thing that we need to do is, so we have the container up and running, we have the network, the name of this container for our database is called DB, and then we want to use PSQL to basically connect to our container right here through our network. So the way we do it is as follows. So here I want to say docker and then run. So this will be another container dash and then IT for interactive and then dash dash RM. So basically, as soon as I quit this container, I want to kill it. And then here I need to specify the network. So dash dash and then network, and the network has to be the same. So DB and then space. And now we want to specify the image that we want to run. And the image will be the exact same one. So Postgres colon, and then, or actually Postgres colon, and then Alpine. And then on a new line here, so we haven't finished. So here, now what I want to do is say PSQL and the host in here. So host. Now here you might be tempted to say local and then host. And let's try this just to see whether this will work. And then here, I want to say dash and then capital U for user. And then the user, the default user is post and then Gres. So here, let me show you. So the default user in here. So if I scroll down, you can see the environment variables. So this is an optional environment and the default will be Postgres. So we want to basically connect using this user and then press enter. And check this out. So here we have an error. So it says connections on port 5432, address not available. And this is because we have this container right here trying to talk to this container, right? But this container cannot use localhost, right? So this is the reason why we have this network, so that they can talk to each other right here. And the way they talk to each other is, so in here, let me just press the up arrow and then clear the screen. And the way they talk to each other is, so basically remember the name of our, so let me just clear that for a second and say docker and then PS. So this is the database up and running, and you can see the name in here. Now the way that we connect from this container to this one is by simply saying, so in here, instead of localhost, we just use the name. So DB. So this name for our container running Postgres. Now if I press enter, you can see that we are prompted for the password. And remember the password that we set was password. So I'm going to type pass and then word, enter, and check this out. So we are actually in, and now if I clear the screen, so Control L, I can say \L, and you can see the list of databases in here. So we have Postgres, so on and so forth. If you want to create a new database, you can say create database and then hello, semicolon there. And if I get this correct, so database and then hello, and you can see that works. And I can delete as well. So drop data base hello, and there we go. So this is super nice. And the cool thing here is that I can press Control C, or actually \Q for quitting. And now if I type docker and then PS, you can see that the container has disappeared. So this container disappeared. And this is because of this command right here. So RM, right? And there you have it. So now that we have successfully have this setup configured, next let's go ahead and basically take our application, and if I zoom out a little bit, oops, just like that. So let's take our application, basically this backend, and then connect to our Postgres database running inside Docker. And obviously when we reach to this point right here, we're going to connect to a real database instance. We're not going to use Docker. So Docker, it's mainly for testing purposes. If you have any questions on what we've done here, go ahead and drop me a message. Otherwise, next, let's go ahead and learn about Spring Data JPA.